The notorious sequel of the relatively successful Mortal Kombat film, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, stands as a stark reminder of how a promising franchise can stumble into a disaster. Following the popularity of the first Mortal Kombat film, expectations were high for a sequel. Unfortunately, Annihilation spectacularly failed to deliver, effectively grounding the franchise. While the film ambitiously introduced a plethora of beloved characters from the video games, this expansion came at a steep price. Plagued by notoriously bad dialogue, laughably abysmal CGI, and visual effects that have aged terribly, and the jarring recasting of some of the main actors from its predecessor, Annihilation felt less like a continuation and more like a catastrophic misstep. The film's attempt to cram in as much lore as possible resulted in a convoluted and incoherent narrative, sacrificing character development and strong storytelling for a barrage of poorly executed special effects and fight scenes. Ultimately, Mortal Kombat Annihilation became a cautionary tale, demonstrating how a sequel can squander the goodwill earned by its predecessor, leaving fans and critics utterly disappointed. While Annihilation might be remembered for its poorly executed production, rapid-fire character deaths, and hilarious dialogue, it's also a fascinating train wreck of a film. Beneath the layers of rubber suits and questionable plot choices, there's a treasure trove of bizarre behind-the-scenes stories, forgotten fun facts, and production secrets that are just too wild to ignore. So grab your popcorn, prepare for some serious nostalgia, or perhaps a healthy dose of bewildered amusement, and let's dissect the glorious and messy guilty pleasure that is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. But before we begin, a usual reminder that this video will contain heavy spoilers, just in case you haven't seen it yet.
It has begun!
Following the critical and commercial disappointment of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, New Line Cinema attempted to rectify the situation by developing a third Mortal Kombat film, called Mortal Kombat Devastation. The intended cast included several returning actors, such as Christopher Lambert as Raiden, Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage, and Robin Shou as Liu Kang, alongside new additions like Udoni Meropes as Quan Chi, who also played the character in the TV series Mortal Kombat Conquest. Talisa Soto and Sandra Hess were also in discussions to reprise their roles as Kitana and Sonya Blade. Director Mink was also attached to the project, but he was later replaced by Russell Mulcahy. The script went through several iterations, with Sean Catherine Derrick and Lawrence Kasanoff taking turns at the helm. The intended storyline would have seen Johnny Cage resurrected, joining the heroes to combat Quan Chi and a revived Shang Tsung. However, according to Chris Casamassa, who played Scorpion, the production was ultimately halted when Hurricane Katrina caused significant damage to the sets. The project ultimately fell through, and the film rights transitioned to Warner Brothers, who decided to reboot the franchise, effectively canceling the Devastation project and its intended storyline, and leading to the release of the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie. During a 20th anniversary Q&A session for the original Mortal Kombat film, both Robin Shou and director Paul W.S. Anderson openly expressed their dissatisfaction with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Several sources even alleged that the very creators of the Mortal Kombat universe, Ed Boon and John Tobias, expressed their extreme dissatisfaction with the film in separate interviews conducted in 2012, with each independently stating that Annihilation was the absolute worst experience they had endured during their entire tenure working on the franchise. Michael Jai White was once again considered and initially cast to play Jax, but he ultimately had to decline the role when he was offered the lead in the movie Spawn. The role eventually went to Lynn Red Williams. However, White's connection to the Mortal Kombat universe didn't end there, as he later portrayed Jax in the 2010 short film Mortal Kombat Rebirth, and then reprised the role in the web series Mortal Kombat Legacy. Ray Park, who later became famous for his roles as Darth Maul in Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Menace, and Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe films, actually began his film career as a fight double for the character of Raiden in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This early role served as a stepping stone for Park, providing him with valuable on-set experience and ultimately leading to his more prominent and iconic roles in subsequent films. In the movie, Jax undergoes a physical transformation, equipping himself with muscle enhancers, which are essentially exoskeletal devices that significantly boost his strength. This depiction, however, slightly deviates from Jax's character development in the Mortal Kombat 3 video game, which served as a source of inspiration for the film. While Jax's transformation is not specifically explained in the game's storyline, it is presumed that he willingly replaced his organic arms with bionic implants. The movie saw a significant cast turnover, with Robin Shou and Talisa Soto being the only actors from the original Mortal Kombat film to reprise their roles as Liu Kang and Kitana respectively. All other major characters were recast with different actors. Adding to the cast changes, Keith Cook, who played Reptile in the first film, returned for the sequel, but this time he portrayed Sub-Zero. This means that Cook played two different characters in the Mortal Kombat film franchise. The recasting of the main characters in particular contributed hugely to the film's overall altered feel and reception compared to its predecessor. The character of Quan Chi was originally intended to feature in the climactic scenes of the film. However, those scenes were ultimately removed during the film's editing process. But despite his exclusion from the final cut, he still appears in some promotional materials and can be seen in certain international versions of the film released on Laserdisc and DVD. The initial plans for Nightwolf's appearance were quite different from what ended up on screen. According to the film's shooting script and novelization, Nightwolf was supposed to wear a Stone Temple Pilots t-shirt and Oakley sunglasses, giving him a more modern and casual look. This was a few years after the alternative rock genre, grunge, took the world by storm and when the Stone Temple Pilots were at their height. However, this idea was eventually scrapped during production. Instead, the filmmakers opted to dress Nightwolf in a costume that more closely resembled his attire from the video games. This change aimed to maintain a stronger connection to the source material and appease fans who expected a more faithful representation of the character. Chris Casamassa was initially set to reprise his role as Scorpion in Annihilation. However, he had to decline due to his commitment to perform stunt work on the film Batman and Robin, which was released that same year. The role of Scorpion was eventually taken by J.J. Perry, who also portrayed Cyrax, Noob Saibot, and parts of Baraka's scene. Additionally, Tony Jaa, who later became a prominent action star, worked as a stunt double for Robin Shou's Liu Kang. Tony performed a number of stunt sequences, contributing his martial arts expertise to the film's action scenes. J.J. Perry also revealed that he performed his fight scenes as Scorpion against Keith Cook's Sub-Zero while suffering from an injured ankle, which was sustained when he accidentally stepped on a power cable during his fight scene with Lynn Red Williams as Jax, an accident caused by his limited peripheral vision due to the Cyrax helmet. Perry also stated that during his fight with Jax, they engaged in a very intense brawl, and said that he and Williams really beat the piss out of each other. Musetta Vander portrays Sindel, the mother of Kitana, who is played by Talisa Soto. Despite their on-screen familial relationship, Musetta is only 4 years older than Talisa Soto. The film features a unique connection between two of its actors, Darren McBee, who played Motaro, and Lynn Red Williams, who portrayed Jax Briggs. Both had previous careers as contestants on the television show American Gladiators. This shared background in the physically demanding competition series added an interesting layer to their on-screen fight scene. Their familiarity with physical challenges and their previous experience with performing in front of a camera contributed to the intensity of their interaction in the film. Additionally, Lynn Williams took over the role of Jax after Gregory McKinney, who played the character in the first film but had to withdraw due to health issues. Unfortunately, McKinney's health problems were severe, and he passed away in 1998. Dana He, who played the villainous Melina, had multiple roles within the Mortal Kombat live-action universe, as she also served as Talisa Soto's stunt double for Kitana in both Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Additionally, she also portrayed the character Sion in the television series Mortal Kombat Conquest. And this wraps up our first dive into the chaotic realm of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. We've peeled back some layers, exposed some interesting choices, and hopefully, you've gained a new perspective on this unique and hilarious cinematic experience. But we've only scratched the surface. In our upcoming videos, we'll be diving even deeper, uncovering more shocking secrets and behind-the-scenes revelations that will absolutely change how you see this film. And if you enjoyed this exploration into the bizarre world of Annihilation, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Mortal Kombat fun facts and deep dives. And until next time, thanks for watching, stay sharp, and we will see you in part 2.